GoldenEye on the N64. Now,
sweet game.
To me, GoldenEye is the best N64 game out. I put it above Mario. I put it above Wave Race. I mean, the texture maps, the graphics on this thing are excellent. Now, and I usually do not like the Doom Quakes. I don't go, bonkers for them like everyone else does. This game I did. Yeah. The sound effects are just amazing. Of course, you got the whole Bond story and the characters there. It's so excellent. Yeah. The missions are well thought out. I would totally give a 9.4 to GoldenEye.
Wow, that's
absolutely.
Yeah, I love the game too. I think it's better than Turok, and I loved Turok. There's a lot more complexity in this game. The graphics are incredible. It's easy to see that the second generation Nintendo 64 games have got some killer visual. And it's true to the genre. I think it's the best Bond game that's ever been produced. And the 4-player options are amazing. Yeah, I'd give it a 9.5. Welcome back. Big surprise for you guys. We're headed straight back to World War II.
Yet again.
World War II games are so...
But on the Wii. First World War II game on the Wii. Well, second after Call of Duty. I still, for first-person shooters on the Wii, just generally, I still have yet to find a game that I actually enjoy playing on the Wii.
So you've already broken your secret. We're talking about Medal of Honor Vanguard on the Wii.
Yes.
From Electronic Arts.
Yep.
Another in the Medal of Honor franchise. What did you think of Vanguard?
Well, the thing is, Vanguard originally, I think, was supposed to be Medal of Honor Airborne. And what happened was, I think Airborne got delayed for the next gen, so they made this other game for PS2 and Wii and everything. You're this guy, you're this character in the 82nd Airborne Division. You can sort of parachute.
Frank Keegan.
And you were supposed to, in Airborne, you're supposed to be able to parachute wherever you wanted.
Right.
And this is much more limited. It's like, boom, there you go. I mean, the parachuting, at least, is something different, because the problem is once you get into the actual game, the graphics here look pretty weak.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the gameplay, there's just nothing new to it. And the thing is, why would I ever play this game with a Wiimote? That's what I don't get. It's like there's no point.
Well, you know what? I mean, after playing a game like Call of Duty 3 on the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, where they actually raise the bar substantially in a World War II experience, it's impossible to go back to something like this and be impressed. Apart from the fact that, yes, you get to look around and point and shoot, and it's pretty...
But I also found, when you're, when you can, sort of crouch and stuff like that, you use a nunchuck, you go down like that, and the thing is, when you're just moving the nunchuck a little bit, it's like you sort of duck without wanting to duck.
I know, I did that all the time. You're constantly getting hit when you don't want to. I did like the way that you throw the grenades, which was a substantial improvement over the last one, over Call of Duty. It's hard not to compare this not only to the other Wii stuff that's out there, but to the better first-person shooter experiences. And you know what? Nintendo sold this console on, things like first-person being a totally new experience, and it's going to be so innovative and fresh.
Not happening. Very disappointed in Medal of Honor Vanguard.
They got to step it up, man. You know what's crazy is that the best first-person shooter experiences I've had on the Wii so far have been in mini games, in Super Monkey Ball and Rayman.
Rayman with the little plungers, that was kind of fun. And
I guess we weren't expecting much, so they were okay.
Yeah, but they were simple. And that's the thing is, if you're going to build a whole game around, I mean, there's really no reason to have this game on the Wii. And I got to say, steer clear of this one. So, Vic, what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give Medal of Honor Vanguard a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not... No, the thing is, it's just there's no point to this game being on the Wii. It doesn't do well.
The only point would be that people don't have the other consoles and they want a shooter type of experience. And so far, I think, out of all of the real shooters, this is the best
better
playing
than Red
one.
Steel, better than Call of Duty?
I think it's better than those two.
Yeah, you're sort of right. I'm going to up it a little bit. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
On the positive side, you get to parachute at the beginning of the game. Not for very long, but you do get to parachute. The controls are fairly precise, especially throwing the hand grenades. And EA always delivers in the audio department. The music is great, and so are the voiceovers.
On the negative side, the control scheme still doesn't really work on the Wii for a first-person shooter. The graphics don't look very good, and they're much better looking World War II games on other platforms. And finally, since it's the Wii, of course, there's no online multiplayer.
All right, I think we can only go up from here, right? There's only one way from here.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, we'll see.
Coming up next, we got Bullet Witch from Atari for the 360.
Fingers are crossed.
We'll see.
You know what they say about the DS? You can't have too many puzzle games. Here's another one. It's Honeycomb Beat from Konami, and it's actually pretty cool. You're tapping on a bunch of honeycombs, just like the name sounds. You're changing tiles and flipping colors and stuff like that. You're trying to basically erase a whole bunch of tiles and combine colors and It's like every puzzle type experience out there. You get the right color and stuff disappears, that kind of thing. There's a couple of different modes. You got the puzzle mode where you have a set number of moves that you can do and you got to erase the line in those moves. And then there's the evolution mode, which I actually found a little bit more challenging, a little more fun. It's kind of like reverse Tetris. You've got this honeycomb connection just sliding upwards towards the top of the screen, and you're trying to create lines across the playing field. You know, it's pretty interesting. It's not the best puzzle game in the world out there, and if you've already got a whole bunch of them for your DS, I don't know if you should rush out and grab this one. But if you're a puzzle fanatic, you might want to check this out. I'm giving Honeycomb Beat 7 out of 10. Welcome back. In the vein of Blood Rain, we have a new shooter, action, magical mystery tour of a game.
We have Alicia, the Bullet Witch.
Exactly, the Bullet Witch from
Atari. Or the Bullet
Atari.
Witch, as I like to call her.
Yeah, she's a bit of that too. It's from Atari for the Xbox 360, and lots of magical powers in this one.
Lots of spells, 9 big spells. And actually, the coolest thing about this game are some of the spells.
Yeah.
The problem is when you cast the spells, the frame rate crawls to
I know, and there's all kinds of render issues, and you know, like the game almost kills itself. It's
well, it's just
very
like
weird.
the idea of, you know, another third-person action game, as you said, just like Blood Rain, except this is, you know,
I'm kind of missing on the Blood Rain. I'd like to see her come back. You know, I like Blood Rain too. I thought
Blood Rain 2 was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but this game, I just think it's like, what's the point of it? And you know, if you're going to be a witch, it's all about cool spell casting.
Well, I'll tell you what the point is. The point is we need to encourage more original IPs. You know, and this isn't especially original, but at least it's not a sequel, and at least it's not a World War II shooter.
But who would want an IP like this? Because I mean, the voice acting is just horrible in this game.
It's game over.
She shoots floating brain guys. You guys with giant, enormous brains.
And the spells, it's like even when you're trying to cast the spells, I thought it was so dumb. It's like you have to pick the spell every time.
Yeah.
And you can't like just auto cue a certain spell. Like,
have you guys ever played Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
Hello.
And it's just like that's like it's simple. You should be able to queue up a spell, say this is the spell I want to use.
Yeah.
How does a game like this get greenlit? And you know, I can understand, I guess, why it gets greenlit, but why they keep
get
making
approved?
it? Yeah,
dude, I know. Tom and I are talking about that all the time. Like, why are these next-gen console manufacturers approving these games? They have like a low standard now. You know, like there should be a very high barrier
pushing back, because I mean, this has, you know, technical problems with, you know, the frame rate issues. There's a lot of clipping and stuff like that. Enemies getting, you know, stuck in between walls and whatnot. And I'm just like, this kind of stuff is just not acceptable.
AI that just drops out completely, and people just stand around. I mean, they are zombies, but come on, do they have to be that dumb? That's ridiculous.
I mean, for a game that's, you know, charging you top dollar on a next-gen console, this stuff is just not acceptable.
No
and
multiplayer.
No.
Short game. It's only about 6 hours, and it's just it's a weird kind of concept as well. I mean, it's 2013. It's an apocalyptic kind of setting. Everybody's dead,
and you're a witch.
And you're a witch, and there's zombies, and then you start off in E.T.'s neighborhood there, which is just where like suburbia.
It is a little wacky.
And then people are running for their lives, and then there's soldiers.
It doesn't appeal to you. I mean, you play this for 10 minutes, and you're just like, why am I playing this game?
I did like the willpower thing, which is reminiscent of PsyOps. I think that's pretty cool. I love the idea of building a stone wall in front of your bullets that are getting shot at. That's all cool, but it's just a hassle.
The execution just isn't there, and it's just not as fluid as it should have been. All right, so what are you going to give Bullet Witch?
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
4.5? I think that's generous. I'm giving it a 3.5.
3.5. All right. Yeah, back to the drawing board on that sucker.
Yeah, I should have never been on the drawing board in the first place.
On the positive side, there are some cool spells for Alicia to unleash in this game. And that's about it.
On the negative side, where do we start? The spell casting slows the game to a crawl. The voice acting is atrocious. There are issues with the artificial intelligence, and we could go on and on.
Today in Hardware, we're talking about another device from Nyko that's going to be very useful for PlayStation 3 owners.
One of my main complaints with the PS3 is, you know, if you want to charge the controller, up until now, there's been no way except, you know, turning on your PS3, and that drains a lot of energy.
Yes, and they only ship it with one USB, so you can only kind of, unless you go out there, you go out and get another USB cable, you can only do one at a time.
And the other problem with the PS3 controller, batteries run dry pretty quickly because there's no auto off for the PS3 controller. So you leave your PS3 on. I've come back a lot of times, there's been no juice in my controller.
So Nyko has a solution for you. It's the dual charger AC. And it's a separate little device. You don't need to plug into your PlayStation 3 at all. It's just like a little...
Just USB cords coming out of an AC.
And you get 2 of them. You plug it into the wall, bang, plug your PlayStation 3 controllers in, and you let them sit, and they charge up.
It's like the perfect idea. Again, another device that Sony probably should have brought out with the PS3. I mean, one of my complaints about PS3 is there were hardly any accessories at launch, and they still haven't come out.
Absolutely. And what's the deal with the not replaceable batteries on the PS3 controller?
That's an issue. I mean,
what's going to happen when those things die? Because they don't keep their charge forever, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. So it's, the controllers, there were issues with them, and I mean, the fact that there was no other way to charge them than plugging them into the system was really lame. So Nyko, again, saw an opportunity. They came in with this device. It works great. I mean,
$25.
What more could you ask for? It just does what it's supposed to do.
It does what it's supposed to do.
And now you can have your controller charged up. And so again, a great device. Definitely recommend it.
I'm recommending it as well. Way to go, Nyko.
Cool.
All right, don't disappear. When we come back, we're talking Versus. It's 2 action RPGs for the PlayStation 2. Don't throw that machine away yet.
That's right, you have still good content coming.
Yeah, Shining Force EXA.
I might throw my system away for that one, but I won't throw it away for Rogue Galaxy.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.